if you believe the one thing that AI and Bitcoin share as a nexus, it's energy consumption because they're power assets. And so if you want to vote with your feet and say you don't want to actually support some of the social dynamics and the externalities that are arising negatively out of AI, other side of energy consumption that is used for scarce goods of the same coin is Bitcoin. And so you could choose Bitcoin. And then I think even though we're talking about Bitcoin, my hope is for the younger generation, we can revive and rejuvenate the spirit of crypto and cypherpunk money at large. So now it's not even just a store of value construct, but this generation can really carry the peer-to-peer monetary mechanism mission at large, which is that it's useful for things beyond just a store of value. And they'll kind of be able to rejuvenate all that in the construct of the need for decentralization that is going to be at the center pin of combating AI. Because I think even for millennials, decentralization is a talking point, but it's not something that is so native to us because like we've talked about, we've lived with a lot of centralized intermediaries as well and have benefited from it. But you have this whole group of investors that might come arise who actually are against that from the very beginning. Decentralization is not just a talking point.
As artificial intelligence reshapes the global economy, the battle over data ownership, decentralization, and the future of money is bringing Bitcoin and blockchain into sharper focus than ever before. Jeff Park is the head of Alpha Strategies and portfolio manager at Bitwise Asset Management, one of the world's leading crypto-focused investment firms specializing in digital asset solutions and institutional-grade research. He is widely recognized for his macro-driven perspective on Bitcoin, portfolio construction, and the evolving structure of digital finance. In his view, the convergence of artificial intelligence, AI, and blockchain technology is forming a new paradigm of intelligent decentralized systems with the potential to reshape governance, finance, healthcare, education, and public administration. AI brings powerful capabilities in data processing, prediction, automation, and decision support, yet concerns around the reliability and transparency of AI reasoning continue to limit trust and large-scale adoption. Within this shifting landscape, blockchain-based systems are increasingly seen as a mechanism to restore transparency, attribution, and value distribution. Jeff Park reveals that the central challenge is ensuring that individuals contributing data and value to AI systems are properly recognized and compensated, rather than leaving benefits concentrated within a few centralized entities. From a financial perspective, this convergence signals a broader transformation in how value is created, measured, and distributed across digital economies. The AI and Bitcoin revolution is just getting started. Like, subscribe, and share to stay ahead of the trends shaping the future of finance.
Of AI is that it's ultimately centralizing all your data and harvesting it to replace you. But that's kind of
Better
the
to love
point,
than
right?
to cry.
That's the point. And if you believe in decentralized efforts to which you may then have attribution power, in which you're being paid a certain amount of kind of remuneration for the contribution of that information, then I think that's part of the decentralized question at large. You know, this makes it sound like I'm very bearish on AI. And the truth is, like, I do think we need technological progress. And I am very hopeful and optimistic AI will be useful for society at large. The key unlock, though, is we need to make sure that gain comes with the ability to provide attribution for those who are doing the work. So the problem right now is we're centralizing profits at a level for which the consumption is happening at every individual's layer without compensation. And if we can solve that problem, then I think there's a great, bright road ahead for AI to be embraced. But we need to solve that attribution problem.
As the US dollar continues to dominate global finance, its next stage of influence may not come from traditional banking, but from the rise of stablecoins and digital financial ecosystems. The dominance of the US dollar has been a defining feature of the global financial system since World War II, shaping trade, capital flows, and geopolitical influence. Today, the USD facilitates nearly 90% of global foreign exchange transactions and remains the primary currency for pricing key commodities such as oil and industrial goods. This deep integration has reinforced its role as both a reserve asset and a medium of exchange, anchoring international financial stability. Jeff Park reveals that this enduring strength of the dollar system is increasingly extending into the digital era through emerging financial instruments like stablecoins and tokenized dollar assets. He suggests that the future of U.S. financial influence will not rely solely on traditional banking or treasury markets, but will expand through blockchain-based representations of the dollar, reinforcing global demand for U.S. liquidity. In this evolving structure, the intersection of macroeconomics, interest rate cycles, and digital finance becomes critical. As global markets adapt to shifting monetary conditions, dollar-backed crypto assets may further strengthen the United States' geopolitical and financial position, extending its influence into decentralized financial ecosystems while maintaining its central role in global trade and savings. Let's get back to interview.
There are a lot of folks in the crypto industry I meet who have Bitcoin as a great share of their wealth in savings. And it's like a barbell approach where they'll have a bunch in Bitcoin and then a bunch in like money market funds. And they won't entertain any risk segmentation in between. I'm still of the view that there is some level of diversification that is going to help you achieve a greater degrees of freedom for pushing out the frontier of your capital allocation framework. So I would say Bitcoin has to be one of those two in the ways that I think it is going to be the most uncorrelated and orthogonal asset in performance that is going to be unrelated to everything else that is happening at the global capital markets stage. The other asset that I would still then consider if you needed to feel like you're a part of society at large is you do need dollars. I tend to believe that we're going to go back to a zero rate environment. I know many people are skeptical given kind of where rates are today. Japan now having reached all-time highs in the past like unimaginable years. US 10-year also still feels relatively higher than what people should have expected it to be. But my belief is that if the global carry trade is going to sustain itself into kind of pushing the can further down the road, it only works if rates go lower. And so if that's the case, 30-year bonds right now is a great thing to purchase for that speculation. And it is a speculation on my end. And that's actually, I think that's my way of maybe betting on America. Like I think America will win. I think in the end, yes, US will always find a clever way to solve problems using ingenuity. And our greatest export is the dollar. It is going to be stable coins. It is going to be other things to which people want to save money in US-based assets and remuneration.
The convergence of artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, and the expanding role of the US dollar is shaping a new financial architecture defined by transparency, decentralization, and digital liquidity. As traditional systems evolve under shifting interest rate cycles and global macroeconomic pressures, digital assets such as Bitcoin and stablecoins are becoming increasingly important in supporting value transfer, capital preservation, and cross-border efficiency. The dollar's dominance remains firmly embedded in global trade and reserve systems, yet its influence is gradually extending into blockchain-based ecosystems through tokenized financial instruments. This transition reflects a broader transformation in how value is created, stored, and distributed across modern economies. At the same time, concerns around trust, data integrity, and system reliability continue to drive demand for more transparent and decentralized solutions. Together, these forces suggest a financial future where traditional monetary power and emerging digital infrastructures operate in parallel, reshaping global markets and redefining the foundations of economic participation. Is the world moving toward a future where AI, Bitcoin, and the US dollar all merge into one digital financial system? So, stay tuned for clear, data-driven insights into the financial system. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss our weekly updates. Thank you for your continued support, and we hope you enjoy the video.